That's a fascinating topic. Old Hollywood was filled with scandal, intrigue, and forbidden romances. Many of these relationships were kept under wraps due to social taboos, public backlash, or the industry's rigid rules. Here's a list of 10 of the most controversial and forbidden romances from that glamorous era. Clark Gable and Loretta Young's affair is one of the most well-kept secrets of Hollywood's golden age. In 1935, during the filming of The Call of the Wild, Gable and Young had a brief but passionate affair. This relationship resulted in Young becoming pregnant, and she secretly gave birth to their daughter, Judy. At the time, Gable was married to his second wife, Rhea, and the affair was never publicly acknowledged. Young chose to raise Judy as a single mother, keeping the paternity a closely guarded secret. The truth remained hidden for many years. It wasn't until later that Judy herself revealed that Gable was her biological father. Eventually, Loretta Young confessed to the affair, but by then, both their careers had been built upon carefully maintaining their public images. The scandal was never widely known during Gable's life, making it one of Hollywood's most intriguing and secretive romances. In the early 1950s, Ingrid Bergman, one of Hollywood's most celebrated actresses, was married to Swedish Dr. Petter Lindström when she began a passionate affair with Italian director Roberto Rossellini. The affair became a massive scandal when Bergman became pregnant with Rossellini's child. At the time, divorce was still a highly controversial issue, and Bergman's decision to leave her husband for Rossellini led to a storm of public disapproval. The Catholic Church, which wielded significant influence in Hollywood, condemned her actions, calling her a fallen woman. The backlash was fierce, and Bergman faced a significant career slump. Despite this, she married Rossellini in 1950, and the couple had 3 children together. After several years in Europe, Bergman made a successful return to Hollywood, regaining her fame and eventually winning 2 Academy Awards. Her affair with Rossellini, while controversial at the time, became an essential part of her legacy. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton is one of Hollywood's most infamous and controversial relationships. In 1962, while Taylor was married to singer Eddie Fisher, she began a passionate affair with Burton, her co-star in Cleopatra. Both were married to other people at the time, and the affair caused a media frenzy. The scandal was sensational, not only because of the infidelity but also due to Taylor's status as a beloved actress and Burton's reputation as a hard-drinking, charismatic Welsh actor. Their relationship became the subject of intense public scrutiny. In 1964, despite the backlash, Taylor and Burton married. However, their union was far from smooth, marked by frequent fights, heavy drinking, and a turbulent lifestyle. They divorced in 1974, only to remarry in 1975. Their second marriage, however, was short-lived, and they divorced for good in 1976. Despite their separation, Taylor and Burton maintained a deep emotional bond, with Burton being a constant presence in Taylor's life until his death in 1984. Their passionate, often stormy relationship remains one of Hollywood's most enduring love stories. Marilyn Monroe and President John F. Kennedy remains one of the most controversial and enigmatic relationships in history. Monroe, the iconic sex symbol and Hollywood star, was reportedly involved with Kennedy during the early 1960s. The affair was never officially confirmed, but whispers of their relationship spread rapidly, especially as Monroe became known for her public appearances at Kennedy's birthday celebrations and her famous rendition of "Happy Birthday, Mr. President," in 1962. Their brief, secretive relationship caused an enormous stir, given the power dynamics between the world's most famous actress and the most influential man in the world. Monroe, who was at the height of her fame, was also struggling with personal and professional turmoil, while JFK was a married man, bound by the political decorum of the White House. After Monroe's tragic death in 1962, the connection between her and the Kennedy family became even more intriguing. Some speculated that her death, ruled as a probable suicide, was tied to her relationships with powerful figures like JFK and his brother Robert, adding layers of mystery to an already controversial affair. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall's romance was one of Hollywood's most iconic, though it wasn't without its share of controversy. The age difference between them, Bogart was 25 years older, raised eyebrows, especially given the social norms of the time. They met on the set of To Have and Have Not in 1944, where their on-screen chemistry quickly turned into a real-life romance. At the time, Bogart was still married to his second wife, actress Mayo Method, which made the relationship even more controversial. Despite public skepticism about their age gap, their marriage flourished. Bogart and Bacall tied the knot in 1945, and their love was evident both on and off-screen. They had 2 children together, and their partnership was built on mutual respect and affection. The couple remained married until Bogart's death in 1957. Their enduring love story became a testament to the fact that age and initial judgments couldn't diminish their connection. James Dean and Pier Angeli's romance in the early 1950s remains one of Hollywood's more discreet and speculative love stories. Although the affair was never publicly confirmed, it was rumored that the two had a passionate but short-lived relationship. Angeli, an Italian actress, was under significant pressure from her controlling mother to marry singer Vic Damone, and the affair with the rebellious and brooding Dean was seen as problematic for her image and career. Their romance was kept largely under wraps, with Angeli eventually marrying Vic Damone in 1954. Meanwhile, Dean continued to grapple with his complicated love life before his untimely death in a car accident in 1955. Despite the brief nature of their affair, it left a lasting impression on both of them, and the connection between the troubled Dean and the conflicted Angeli is remembered as one of the most bittersweet and hidden love stories of old Hollywood. Rock Hudson and Doris Day's on-screen chemistry in a series of romantic comedies, such as Pillow Talk, 1959, made them one of Hollywood's most beloved pairs. Their public persona as the perfect couple, full of charm and wit, was adored by fans, but it was a carefully crafted illusion. In reality, Hudson was gay, and his relationship with Day was strictly professional and platonic. The true nature of his sexuality was kept hidden from the public, with many speculating that his close friendship with Day was a cover-up to maintain his leading man image. The revelation of Hudson's sexuality came after his death in 1985 from complications related to AIDS. This disclosure shocked the public, as many had been unaware of his personal life. Doris Day, deeply saddened by his passing, later reflected on their friendship with fondness and respect. Hudson's death marked a turning point in the public conversation about LGBTQ+ issues in Hollywood. Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier's marriage was one of the most complex and controversial in Hollywood. The affair began while Olivier was still married to actress Jill Esmond, and their relationship quickly became public. Once married, Leigh and Olivier's union was marked by intense passion but also emotional turbulence. Leigh struggled with mental health issues, including bipolar disorder, which put a strain on the relationship. Meanwhile, Olivier's emotional distance and often harsh behavior further deepened the cracks in their marriage. Despite their professional success and shared love for acting, the couple's personal lives were fraught with difficulties. They divorced in 1960 after 20 years of marriage. However, even after the split, their bond remained strong, and both actors carried the emotional scars of their time together. Their marriage, filled with love, conflict, and mutual respect, remains one of the most poignant and complex love stories in Hollywood history. Natalie Wood and Warren Beatty's brief but passionate affair in the early 1960s is often regarded as one of Hollywood's most intriguing and lesser-known scandals. At the time, Wood was married to actor Robert Wagner, and Beatty was a notorious ladies' man with a reputation for short-lived romances. Their on-again, off-again relationship became a subject of much speculation, though it wasn't widely publicized during its peak. Both stars were deeply involved with other people, yet their chemistry was undeniable. Despite the intensity of their affair, it didn't last long, and both eventually moved on to marry different partners, Wood later reuniting with Wagner, and Beatty having high-profile relationships of his own. Over the years, their romance remained mostly hidden from the public eye, becoming one of Hollywood's best-kept secrets. Though their time together was short-lived, it remains a fascinating footnote in the legacy of both stars. Greta Garbo, one of the most enigmatic and iconic actresses of Hollywood's golden age, had a secret and passionate relationship with poet and writer Mercedes de Acosta. Though Garbo's sexuality was never publicly discussed during her career, their love affair was well known within certain circles but kept hidden from the public eye. It's believed that their relationship spanned several years, with both women deeply in love, though it was never openly acknowledged by Garbo, who was notoriously private about her personal life. Da Costa, known for her literary works and her connections to several women in the arts, later published a memoir in 1960, revealing the depths of her affair with Garbo. Despite the secrecy, Garbo's sexuality became a subject of intense speculation, and many of her fans and critics have since analyzed her romantic life. Garbo never married, which further fueled the rumors surrounding her personal life. Though their relationship ended amicably, it remained a hidden chapter of Garbo's life for many years. Their connection continues to be one of the most intriguing and mysterious love stories of Hollywood, often cited as a significant part of Garbo's legacy.